Smack bang in the middle of suburban Melbourne is a working farm. I'm talking chickens, sheep, even a resident peacock, and some of the most productive gardens that you'll ever see. So now that spring is here, it's a great time to get out, explore the gardens and see what's growing. Collingwood Children's Farm provides much needed relief from the concrete and bitumen of city life. So it's a green escape for many of the residents that live around here, you know, some of which might live in high-rise apartments without any access to outdoor space. But it's also a great spot for visitors from other parts of the city to come and really get an appreciation for where their food comes from. And of course, if you're looking for ideas or inspiration on the kind of crops you can grow at home, then this is a great place to be. What a bounty, Rachel. Is this an average kind of harvest?
Yeah, it is. It's a good day. We can get up to 8 to 12 crates a day.
That's amazing. So who are you actually growing all this for?
A lot of it goes to Moving Feast, which is an organisation that's made up of multiple social enterprises and not-for-profits in Melbourne. So that's directly going to people facing food insecurity. We also sell at the farmers market, we sell at our farm gate and to the farm cafe here.
So how established are these gardens?
This market garden was a paddock 9 months ago. So we converted it by using a cover crop of oats, and then we got the goats to eat the oats down, and it's been in production now for about 6 months.
So you've given us some of the secrets for success, but what sort of soil preparation are you doing?
The soil is the most important thing. Obviously, we've got a really good quality soil here. We use compost, wormweed, some seaweed extracts, and we really try and look after the microorganism population in the soil.
Gardens can be much more than just about producing food. They really have a lot of social and health benefits too.
Yeah, that's absolutely in the foundation of everything we do at the farm. We are a working farm. Our aim is to provide social work through agriculture and show kids how a cauliflower grows, or what an orange tree looks like, or what a cow looks like and where the milk comes from.
Whoa. Whoa. I love too that you've got obviously the animals here. Are they part of the working cycle of the garden as well?
Absolutely. It's all interdependent. The chooks are used for weed management, the sheep and goats used to graze cover crops. We also use their manure, make compost, and then the compost goes back into the gardens. So it is very interconnected.
I've seen a few bite marks around on some of the plants. Does that mean that the animals aren't always useful?
Yeah, the peacocks are one of the most engaging animals on the farm because they're so exotic and beautiful. But to a gardener, they can be challenging because they love to graze all of our veggies, so we use netting here to keep the peacocks out.
Well, you know, if it's not peacocks, it's possums, so...
Too right, or rats.
Now, Rachel, obviously not everyone has a paddock like this to garden with at home. Have you got any ideas for bringing, you know, growing food at home down into a small space?
Yeah, absolutely. We try and do that because we're getting the most production out of the land we have. So one thing that you could scale down is intercropping. At the moment, we've got cauliflowers that take a really long time to reach maturity. In the middle of the cauliflower rows, we've got butter lettuce growing. It's got less light requirements, so you're making the most out of the space you've got.
Thank you so much for showing us around. There's so much to see here, so I can't wait to keep exploring. In fact, I've got this idea for a little planting project that I think people might like to make at home. All the beautiful fresh produce at the Collingwood Children's Farm has inspired me to create a project that's great through the warmer months and a lot of fun with the kids. It's an upside-down tomato planter, and all it starts with is a hanging basket that has, say, a coconut fibre liner or a liner that you can cut into. look for a hanging basket like this that has a hole in the cage at the bottom. Then you can plant into the centre. If not, and you've got a basket like this, then you can quite simply just plant a little bit to the side of the centre. Because this is an upside down planter, we're going to do things a little bit back to front and put the plant in before the potting mix. So you can see what I've done here is I've just cut a cross shape into the base of the liner. That's so that I can push the root ball of the tomato through there. I find that this project works better with tomatoes that are pot growing or compact type tomatoes or tumbling tomatoes like this tomato tumbler. So there you have it, our upside down tomato. Now time for the potting mix. So get your hands on a bucket. That way you can quite simply place the plant in there without doing any damage. Tomatoes are heavy feeders, meaning they love their food. So if you're growing them in pots and hanging baskets, it's a good idea to give them a little bit of extra TLC. So I'm using Scott's Performance Naturals potting mix. So it's organically based, but it's also boosted with lots of added goodies, like slow-release food, which can feed your plants for up to 3 months, seaweed, and lots of natural ingredients that are rich in nutrients to promote veggies that are up to twice as big. Oh my God, you've got to take a look at this. We're in the middle of suburban Melbourne. That's the Yarra River just there, and there is a seal there, popping its head out of the water. So I'm planting the top of the basket out with complementary herbs like a bit of thyme and parsley for a real garden feast. But you could also plant the top out with another tomato and get a whole ball of hanging fruit, or edible flowers on top, just help spice up your salads. If you really want to bump a crop, then here's my tip for you. Feed through the growing season with this organically based fertiliser. So you just sprinkle it onto the surface of the soil, mix it through and water it in. And not only will you be feeding your plants, you're also nourishing your soil, and that makes for very happy veggies. So we've got our herbs on top and our tomato on the bottom. Now it's all ready to hang. It's such a simple little project and a great way to grow food in a small space. So hopefully it'll turn your view of gardening upside down.